Good evening, folks. I'm Nancy Romano, and I'm here with Angela Geddes, who is with the Ruth Program, and she's joined us to give us an idea today about what the Ruth Program is about and some insight into how it can help young women who may be struggling in our community. And she is going to answer some questions, and we're just going to have a little discussion about what we can do to give you an idea of how you in the community can possibly help some of the young women who are adrift and need some help.
Correct.
So, Angela, you've been doing the Ruth program about 4.5 years.
Yes.
Give us an overview of what it's about, and so we can get an insight to what the folks in the community need to look for or understand what it's about, so they know what to offer and where to be available.
Okay. Well, the Ruth program, what it is it's the first in the nation that actually helps single women that their children may be grown or they didn't have children, but they're on low income and they need help. So what we do is we partner them with elderly widows that live alone, and they're in need of a non-medical live-in home helper, but they can't afford one. A non-medical home helper can cost everywhere from $250 to $300 a day. And if they don't have the right insurance, they're lost. And their family members, not all of them live close enough to be there for them every single day. So what we do is we bring these two ladies together, giving them both a hand up instead of just a hand out.
What kind of young woman and the elderly person in the community, what people are candidates for those positions and that you're looking for?
Well, we don't have like a real strict criteria because everybody will say yes to somebody, but it would likely be single women that are not necessarily raising their children or they're alone, because the Ruth program is modeled after the book of Ruth and Naomi. So there weren't necessarily children until later on after Ruth got married. So we're focusing on the journey of the Ruth and Naomi story, bringing these two women together. So the type of women that would be good candidates, let's say the girl is of age, she's finished high school, and maybe things at home is just not really working out. Or she was in the system and she's at that crossroad where the system says, okay, you're done, and she has to move on. We like to catch these young ladies before they make those desperate choices of what am I going to do with my life. I don't have a support group. I don't have that family base to be there for me. So we like to be the buffer, to be able to say, you know what, before you cross that line, that may be something you won't be able to turn back from. We want to be able to catch you before you fall and partner you up with the right elderly widow.
What's the process? First of all, I guess tell me how you identify who you want to, on both sides, who you want to approach, how do they approach you, and what can we in the community do to help that move forward without too much drama?
Well, let me say this. The best way to find us right now is we are on Facebook. Our website is going to cost a few $1,000s. So we know that that's a part of our purpose for doing this commercial, is to draw the attention of those who can support us with the funding. So right now we do have our Facebook page. It's the Ruth Program Home Helper. It'll give you some insight of the journey, but it'll also allow you to reach out to us. And you can call me at the 512-817-8029, and I'll be glad to schedule an appointment with you, or you can send me an email at gettysministries@gmail.com, either one. So once you reach out to me, I get a feel for who you are, what your story is. I know everyone isn't transparent, so we do have to do vetting, background checks, drug testing. We have a list of things that we do before we make the full decision. And then we do the same thing for the elderly widow. We get to learn a little bit about her. And if she has a family, we want to learn more about them, because the family dynamic plays a very strong part in the relationship with the young lady that's in that house. So we find those two right components. We give them an opportunity to come to our office in Round Rock, And then they sit down and discuss if this is something they feel is right for both of them.
What happens if they get started and it goes off a little way okay, and then it begins to sort of go askew? What do you do then? Do you know yet? Have you had enough situations where you've either seen people in
I have.
situations? That's what
Now
I was
this is,
thinking.
and
That
this is the uniqueness about the Ruth program. Uh, we don't get involved after the signing is done. Once they both authorize that they're comfortable with making the decision, and again, it'll take about a week to do all the interviews and background and everything.
Okay.
Once they've done that process, we tell them, now the decision is up to you. If you both are on the same page and you feel this is worth it, they sign off. That means that releases the Ruth program, the Get Us Ministries, from liability of furthering any relationship, and it's up to them to take it from there.
That's huge.
It is, because we do not charge. We don't have monthly charges. We have a one-time fee.
That's amazing, because the truth is, once you get down to it, who wants a program constantly coming in going, this is not the way to do it, guys?
Right.
And I would have a problem with that myself. I wouldn't want to be controlled by other people when maybe we get along fine until the other person comes in and interferes.
Right.
Or makes suggestions that are not necessary, maybe.
You're right, and that's so true. And the beautiful thing about this experience is, as the founder of the Ruth program, I personally, as a missionary, had the amazing experience of caring for multiple elderly widows that live alone. So I have the pattern, the template of knowing how this should work and the most constructive way to lay it out. I've put the time in to understand all the little nuances of the basics. Now, there's always something new, I'm sure, but for the overall, when I'm doing this interview process, I'm bringing up things that I had experienced, and I'm putting them in scenarios of how they're going to respond to one another in this interview process, because I want both of them to listen to how the other one feels about this experience in this journey.
Well, I wish you luck, because I think the community is desperate for this sort of thing. And I think young women, and certainly the elderly that have neither nothing to do or nobody to just be there, this has got to be a huge relief to many families.
It's going to be an amazing relief. That is why the funding is so important. We have been so blessed to have the support of the community at large, businesses that have supported us with their material possessions out of their storehouse from their companies. And there have been some fundings that's come in, but we really need grants. We really need sponsors that understand what this program is about, and they're in bed with what we do ongoing, and we're transparent. We're going to have videos showing the progress, so we will revisit them and come and just see how things are going along and ask them would they like us to come and do a video and let the world see the progress of what the Ruth program does for each other.
So that helps, because then there's still no control on your end, but there's the interaction enough later that it can redirect it. Maybe the same people doing where they are, but redirecting it. I like that. Is there anything else that you want to add that might give additional insight? What would you like from the community at this point?
Well, again, the very purpose of this interview is to reach out to sponsorship, to reach out for funding. It is desperately needed. Anytime I do an event, anytime I do a public service announcement, the cry of the need is definitely imminent in there, because my phone is ringing and my emails start to kick in. So that is without question. But when it comes to the actual financial support, we're at an impasse. We're in the Apicon Home Health Building in Round Rock on 620. So if anybody want to come in and check out our new facility, we've just gotten ourselves settled in. We're really excited, but what we need is the support of those who know they can help turn this around. We're looking at about $150,000 to get us through a 12-month span. Because we don't take monthly funding, from these families, we need to be able to rely on grants so that I can have the staffing that goes beyond volunteers, and we can get the equipments, and we can get the media support that we need, and get our website up, because that's actually a lot more costly than I thought.
Yes.
So
And
yeah.
people do need to know how to get to that. So
Yes.
is
So
there,
yeah.
go ahead. Is there anything else that we can add, meaning you and me, can add right now that will help the community be aware of it? What would you like to leave the folks with?
That this program is the first in the nation, and it's important. And these women and these families are crying out for help every single day. And I want to be there to help make a difference. But I cannot do it half-hearted. We want to do this fully prepared. So I am looking at going into the new year, hopefully before the new year, ready and able to give them all the support they need. I know what all the tools are. I know what it takes to navigate the program, and I know how much it's going to take to get there. So for all those who feel this program is something they would want to learn more about, with the potential of being a sponsor, give me a call. Again, my name is Angela Geddes. You can find us on Facebook at the Ruth Program Home Helper, or you can give me a call at 512-817-8029, or you can look up Geddes Ministries, that is GETTIS Ministries at gmail.com, or even the Ruth Program Event, no S, at gmail.com. We just really need those who feel that this is a program they feel they can get behind and it's worth it, and allow us to do what we do to help the families at large in this community, because there is no other program that helps single women as much that don't have children.
I'm very glad that we did this tonight, and thank you folks for joining us, because I'm thinking that there's not any other chance that some of these folks are going to have, the young people as well as the elderly that really need it now. So thank you for joining us, and let us know if we can have you partner with us in the future.
Thank you,
And
Nancy,
thank you.
for
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. This has been amazing. Thank you for letting
You're
me
welcome.
be here.
Thank you for asking me. I appreciate it.
Awesome.